why these books alter my brain chemistry. Very much not looking to fall in love. They literally exist in different timelines. That's it, gone. Plus it's queer. I love me some sapphic romance. Hello my beautiful besties and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Maria and I really like books. Yeah, we're still on that. We're still saying that. So today I really wanted to share with you my top 10 all-time favorite romance novels, not counting in romantasy. If you want to, I'll make a whole other video on that because simply I could not choose a top 10 where I both had contemporary romance and romantasy. So this is where we're at instead. I'm going to give you all the details, all my feelings, and I'm giving you why these books alter my brain chemistry. These are ranked as of right now. You might not love this, but this is just my opinion, right?
That's my opinion!
So let's start at number 10. So number 10 we have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, so this book follows two characters who are very much not looking to fall in love. Like they're both emotionally guarded, career focused, and in general kind of allergic to being vulnerable. The female main character, Rue, is super independent and has her walls all the way up. And our male lead, Eli, he's intense, he's controlled, and he's giving off these I absolutely should not be catching feelings, but here we are kind of vibe. Their relationship starts out very physical and practical, but obviously emotions sneak in and they 100% complicate everything. What I really loved about this one though is it explores intimacy and trust in a more mature way than we've seen in other romance novels. And it's messy, it's complicated, and it just feels really real. It feels very real. So number 10, Ali Hazelwood. At number 9, we have Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This was actually one of those novels that kind of introduced me to contemporary romance, and it's closed the door. Surprise, surprise. This is such a soft and cozy romance set in a small town where everyone knows everyone. And our main girl, Annie, is basically the shy, awkward sister who feels like she's always been overlooked. So she teams up with the town's charming, confident, bad boy-ish guy to practice dating so she can gain confidence. And of course he starts off all like, this is just practice, blah, blah, blah. But then he gets super protective and attached and over dramatic. And it's just like, sir, please. What makes this so cute though is Annie's character growth. Watching her come into her own and realize her own worth is just, I love it so much. And the romance is also very, very sweet. It's very respectful and it's full of these little moments that just, it makes you smile. Very wholesome. So if you're looking for a closed door, low spice, much yearning and temptation, and he shows her how to, yeah. Then we have 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So this book is about a woman, Clementine, who moves into her late aunt's apartment only to discover that sometimes that apartment exists 7 years in the past. And that's in one of those 7 years ago kind of moments we meet our male leads. They literally exist in different timelines. It just makes the romance feel so magical but also kind of heartbreaking because it's very much the case of the right person, the wrong time, right? Or is it? Beyond the romance, it's also about grief and healing and figuring out what you want from life. And it's whimsical, but it's somehow also very grounded. I just love the way that the timelines twist in this. It's so satisfying. Number 7. No, number 8. Yes. 10, 9, 8. Yeah. Number 7 is What If I Never Get Over You by Paige Toon. This one is just one of those sweeping emotional love stories that just spans time and really digs into right person, wrong time. Again, do you see a theme? The connection between the main characters is just immediate and intense, and it's just so on from the get-go, but life keeps pulling them in different directions. It explores love, it explores loss, and the idea of whether you can truly move on from someone who felt like your everything. And page 2 just writes emotions in a way that feels so raw. Like you can feel the longing, the missed chances, the what ifs, and it's just have the tissues ready. All right, I'm serious. Then we have Daydream by Hannah Grace as our 6th on the list. And you might be wondering, this is the last one in the trilogy, Maria. You're absolutely right, but this is the one that did it for me, right? This is a college romance that just have this perfect mix of fun and emotional depth. It follows our two characters, Hallie and Henry, who are both kind of figuring themselves out. They're figuring out their goals, their identities, and what they want from relationships. The vibes are both very soft and comforting, but there's also very real character development happening. The romance builds through friendship and understanding, which just makes it feel really, really genuine. And I'm obsessed with Henry. Henry Turner is probably one of my favorite MMCs, which says a lot because on that list we also have people like Kate and Kai. Like, but all like to go back, this book, man. Also, the chemistry is like fantastic. It's out of this world. The tension and the little moments of closeness. I giggled full on kick flipping, feet kicking, giggling out loud, blushing. My God. This very well deserved 6th spot. Number 5, we have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is still the only Abby Jimenez book that I read, so it is insane that the first book of hers I read is number 5 on my top 10 list, but I was sucked in. I adored this so much, right? This book follows a super successful ER doctor who feels stuck in her high pressure, toxic life. And then she meets this small town guy who is basically the definition of a green flag energy. He runs a B&B, he's kind, he's grounded, and he's emotionally available. Like Amy Jimenez really said, let me raise your standards permanently. And what makes this book stand out to me is how it balances like serious topics like family expectations and emotional abuse with a really warm, healing romance. It's about choosing the life and love that really makes you happy. And I thought this was a beautiful portrayal of that. Now we're going into that was number 5, so we're in the top 5 now, right? And I could add so many Hen books to my top 10, right? In general, I think I adored every single one of her, but there's only 2 of her books that I ever gave 5 stars. It's Book Lovers, which was the first Hen I ever read, and it's Funny Story. And I do think I want to give Funny Story an honorary mention here because this was one of Emily Henry's books that I deeply resonated with. Even though it's a contemporary romance, there was moments where I felt really seen and I connected a lot to both the male and the female characters. But I do think I have to give the spot to Book Lovers as my number 4 pick because this is what got me hooked on romance books. Like Emily Henry has all the credit for me exploring and falling in love with love. This Book Lovers by Emily Henry follows Nora, who is a literary agent and very much not your typical rom-com heroine. She's ambitious, she's a bit cynical, and she totally owns it. Like she knows who she is. She ends up in a small town and keeps running into this grumpy editor she has a history with, and their dynamic is everything. The banter is sharp, the tension is constant, and their relationship feels so equal and grounded. Just go back to the tension, it's delicious. The tension is so good. But this book is also about family, about identity, and letting yourself want things you didn't think you were ever allowed to have. It's clever, it's self-aware, and it's just so well done. I think Hen is one of the unbeatable queens of romance, and if she writes it, I'm going to read it. No, I could not have a top 10 without mentioning Heartless by Elsie Silver. Honor shout out to the entire Chestnut Springs universe. However, heartless. We have a grumpy single dad rancher and a sunshine nanny who is his son's new caretaker. At first, Cade is super closed off and he's only focused on his responsibilities, but Willa brings warmth and light into his life in such a natural way. And the way that he slowly starts opening up to her, I cannot. I fucking adored it. Willa is one of my favorite FMCs, and Cade is one of my favorite MMCs. Like, there's a reason they're in my top 3. I have a crush on both of them. The domestic moments in this book, like the cooking and taking care of the kid, just existing together, it makes this romance feel so intimate, and it's really beautiful to have a glance of and be a part of, even as the spectator, the reader. And then when he finally admits his feelings, that's it, gone. Do not hesitate. I could die happily, right? But this book is also the reason I can't look at hot tubs without blushing. So, yeah. Number 2 on my top 10 romances comes as no surprise. If you know me, you know that Kai Rhodes and motherfucking Miller Montgomery and Kai Rhodes. This is a sports romance. The entire Windy City series, but like this particular is a sports romance that actually gives you both an amazing romance and really strong individual character arcs. Kai Rhodes is a professional athlete. He's a baseball pitcher who's dealing with pressure and expectations, and Mila is a character who's equally strong and independent. Their relationship builds through mutual respect, emotional vulnerability, and some seriously good chemistry. What I love the most about this book is just how real their struggles felt. And it's not just romance, it's about growth and healing and learning to let someone in. And what was the absolute most attractive about this was watching Mila fall in love with Kai's son and watch Kai be such a good dad. Plus the banter in this is fantastic. Mila's tongue is wild. Enough said. Last but not least, probably not that definitely does not count as a contemporary romance, but it is one of my favorite romances of all time. And it's also one of my favorite authors of all time. It's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The romance is not the main point of the book, right? However, it is a very important part of it, and it was in fact my favorite part of the book. As you can see, I did annotate the shit out of this book, and I don't fucking annotate ever. So, yeah. Atmosphere is set against a really immersive, almost cinematic backdrop. It follows a deeply emotional, very slow building love story that it feels larger than life. The characters are so richly developed and their connection is intense, it's layered, and it's full of longing. It's not just about falling in love, it's about timing and sacrifice and ambition and what it means to truly see someone. The writing is absolutely beautiful, but like, can we expect anything else coming from Jenkins Reid? Every single sentence just felt so intentional. And the emotional impact of this, like, whoa, I sobbed my little heart out. It just builds and builds until you're just completely wrecked in the absolute best way. It's not just a romance. This is a story that really stays with you forever. Plus, it's queer. I love me some sapphic romance. But it's set in the 80s America in NASA, where homosexuality was very much forbidden. Not outward, but it was more the impact it would have on your social status and on your job. And it was already hard enough being a woman. Imagine being a gay woman. So read at your own risk, because you will cry your eyes out. And yeah, that is my top 10 romances of all time. Let me know if you've read any of these And if you have any recommendation that matches these vibes, because clearly I love to suffer emotionally, please do share them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this is your kind of content. I would love to see more of you here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!